In this video, I'm going to be reviewing the Lamy 2000 with double broad nib. I'll go over the specs, I'll do a writing sample, and I'll tell you what I like and don't like about this pen coming up. Blake here with Blake's Broadcast. On this channel, I review fountain pens, paper, and ink, and as always, I put links in the show notes in the description below. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, it really helps out my channel. Alright, let's get on with the review. This is a Lamy 2000, and I did a review of this well, maybe a year ago or so. I'll put a link to that up in the corner. The reason that I'm doing another review is that I got this one with their double broad nib. This is a fantastic nib. If you look at how square it is, the point, it's very stubbish. Quick background, yeah, this is a pen from the 1960s. It is a design icon. I don't personally think it's that good looking, but eventually I broke down and got one. I had to have one because this is such an important fountain pen, and I really did come to like it a lot just from a functional perspective. It's super nice to use. It's a piston filler. We have the click cap here, so it's easy to take off quickly, and cleaning this pen is really easy because the section here unscrews, which is kind of unusual for a piston filler pen, and the whole thing can be disassembled really easily. It's just a very well designed, well thought out pen. So this is my second one. I still have the Fine, which I really like. And I went with the double broad because I thought, oh, I'm gonna have to send it to a nibmeister. I'll make it into a formal italic. But this is so wet, so juicy and smooth, and because of that square cut to the nib, it gives actually a pretty good line variation. So let's do the writing sample because that's really what this is about. And if you want to see the full details on the original review I did, definitely check out that link. I'll also put that link in the description below so it's easier to get to. For the writing sample, we're going to be using the Papermind Mitsubishi Bank Paper notebook. These notebooks are awesome with fountain pens, and for Blake's Broadcast viewers and subscribers, you get 10% off with code BB10 at checkout. Okay, so this is the Lamy 2000 double broad. I think this is Oroshi Zuku Tsukiyo? I'm not 100% sure. Oops. Fast writing. So we're definitely getting some skipping here. The feed is not keeping up as well as it could, but in normal writing, I don't really run into any issues with that. Also, this is a position sensitive nib because of that square shape to it. So if you turn the nib a little bit, it's going to have trouble writing more so than a traditional, standard point nib. Now, in terms of line variation, this is with no pressure, and you can see that the cross strokes are definitely thinner than the downstrokes. With some pressure, you get quite a bit more line variation. So I think overall, this is a really nice, really smooth nib. There is some position sensitivity to it. It's never scratchy though. So, but if you're not careful, you will potentially run into an issue where it won't write. And just because of the shape of the semi-hooded nib, I feel like with the look of it, it's a little bit easier to miss that position. I don't have any problems with this writing with it. I've been journaling with this pen for like the last 3 days straight, and I've absolutely loved it. Now, there is, again, some flexibility. I wouldn't push on this too hard, but you can get a little bit there. Again, this is a semi-hooded nib, so really I should say don't push on it. It's not worth it. Reverse writing, nope. I mean, yeah, not really. So not a candidate for that. But overall, I really like this nib for a stock nib. You get a good amount of line variation, and it's a really wet, juicy nib. What are my pros and cons for the Lamy 2000 with double broad nib? Well, let's start right with the nib. This is a very wet, juicy double broad nib. more so than a lot of other double broads that I've used. So if you like that, this could be a really good option for you. It's also pretty square cut, so you get a noticeable amount of line variation. Now, it's not as much as you would get on a stub or a cursive italic or full formal italic, of course, but it is noticeable and it does add character to your writing, especially if you write larger. When you start writing smaller, just because of the amount of ink that it lays down, it's maybe a little bit less noticeable. But overall, just a really nice pen to write with. I really enjoyed this enough that I thought I should make a second review, even though I already reviewed my Fine. The other pros of the Lamy 2000, of course, all apply here. We have an iconic design at a very reasonable price. I think these are around $200. I know Lamy did increase the price of this model just because prices to manufacture it went up, but I still think this is one of the best entry-level gold nib fountain pens out there. You get a piston filler, you get this great iconic design, and there's just a lot of nice engineering in here. The way that everything fits together is really nice. Now, in terms of cons, I think the design is polarizing. In truth, it's not my favorite looking pen, but from a functionality standpoint, it's a really awesome everyday writer. Other cons, well, it's a piston filler, so some people may not like that, and especially if you're new into fountain pens, you might not want a piston filler, so that is potentially a downside. That said, it is very easy to clean because it comes apart so nicely. That's pretty much it. Do you guys have this pen? Do you like this pen? Let me know in the comment section below, and if you like this video, please hit that like button, and if you want to see more fountain pen, paper, and ink videos, please hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much, and until next time.